Hello and welcome to Focus on Fantasy Romance, episode number 23, a podcast where we discuss the books, genre, industry, and our geeky lives. Today we have an interview with cover designer Karri Clowder. And I know Karri back from school, so we reached out and we wanted to do an interview to find out what it's like to be on the design portion of the whole publishing process. So don't mind me. Like I said, we're not terribly professional here. So my first question for Karri is, how did you become a cover artist? And did you always want to do something in art growing up?
I actually didn't. I wanted to be either a vet or a neurologist. I wanted nothing to do with art. Everybody kept saying, oh, you need to be an artist and go to school for art. And I was like, no. But I don't know, let's see, after getting married and having some kids, I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, and then when the youngest went back to school, it was decided I needed to get a job. Money was tight. But the people who are hiring don't really like to hire people who've been out of the workforce for a while, so that was a little problem. After a few months, I started hitting the freelance design websites, because I had done some freelance design off and on over the years, and I kept seeing book covers on their portfolios. And so I finally just kind of got a bug up my butt. I wanted to do a book cover. So I posted a free book cover to anybody who would take me up on it on the DeviantArt website. And self-published author, I believe his name was George Burns, came across my ad and he asked if he could bring me over to the Kindle boards and see if anybody would take me up on it. And kind of went from there. Now I do it full time for the past 5 years.
And you do freelance, and I think you work with some publishers. Is that correct?
They're small publishers, yeah. I wouldn't really consider them, I don't know. I think like the big publishers versus the smaller ones, they work the same as working with the authors directly, so. Okay.
But you have some like foreign markets too. I think I saw one of your...
Yeah. The Czechoslovakian, they buy a lot of the rights to the big books, to like the traditionally published books here, and they have to have new covers though with the translations, and I do some of those.
Okay, that's very sweet, actually. When someone contacts you for a cover, what are the steps from beginning idea to finished cover?
It's different for every client. Some people know exactly what they want. Some people have no idea what they want. I'll usually start by giving them a questionnaire that gives the basic details of their storyline, any ideas they might have on the cover, maybe some links to other covers that they like, and we kind of go from there. I like to start things out with an image, because it just seems to help flow better if I have an image so they can have something to look at. So I'll usually put together a sample, and then they can either say they like it, they want to go with something that direction, or that's absolutely something they hate and they don't want to go that direction at all. And then from there, we just kind of, they give their input, I do some work, rinse, repeat until it's done.
So if you have a client that has a lot of changes, like a lot of fine little tweaks, do you limit the amount of retouches they can do?
I don't, but there could be the possibility of many revisions that I might say, okay, enough's enough. If you get the person that like, can we just nudge it once to the left and then nudge it once to the right, and you end up back in the same spot again, that might get a little bothersome at times. But it hasn't come across it yet where I've had to start charging for extra revisions.
Okay. Excuse me. What are some of the biggest hurdles you've had to overcome to build your portfolio and business as a cover designer?
I've actually been very blessed. Like I said, when I was brought to the Kindle boards, I think they're K boards now, I got a lot of good reception, and it helped me build my portfolio right away. And I had some authors at the time that weren't very big, but they started with me early, and they're still with me now, and they've grown a lot, which word of mouth helps spread a lot. So I can't really think of any specific hurdles. It's been pretty handed to me, I guess.
Well, that's very, like you said, it's very blessed. That was the end of my questions, and Amy had a few.
So I had like the basic interview question that everybody gets asked. But if you could choose one famous author that you wanted to meet, eat, drink with, make a cover for, why?
Oh, that's a hard one. Oh, I'd probably go with Dean Koontz. And that's, when I was little, I wasn't really big into reading, and I mean like little, first, second grade. They wanted to hold me back. My dad slipped me Dean Koontz Watchers in 4th grade, and that kind of got me hooked on reading. So I got in trouble with that book quite often in school, but
That's a good choice. I like Dean Koontz. He's an interesting fellow.
yeah, he is.
When designing, what do you look for to give you inspiration? If you feel stuck on a design, what helps you break out of the rut?
Yeah, I know you guys know writer's rut there, but yeah, I have many times where I sit and stare at the screen for a long period of time going, I don't know what I'm going to do. It helps a lot to go look at other covers. If I'm not really finding anything in the covers, I'll start searching artist websites. And it, it's helped push the boundary. Doing work without like having to respond to a client, like just my own things where a lot of pre-made covers come from, that helps too, because then I can just kind of do what I want, see where it goes with no end goal in mind. So.
We'll have a sort of a follow-up question, not really, but it's just a personal question. If you, is there a specific genre that maybe you haven't done a whole lot of covers in that you want to do covers in? Like, so I love to write steampunk, and that's a very difficult, very small niche genre. You don't find a lot of people who do it, but I know you did C.J. Archer's covers for her Necromancer series, which I adore.
I actually have quite a few covers. They just haven't been revealed yet. So
yeah, and so steampunk is hard to find someone who is interested in doing those covers. Is there a genre, I mean, because I know you've already done some steampunk covers, but is there another genre that you maybe haven't like dipped your toe in yet that you want to give a shot?
I can't think of anything that I haven't dipped my toe in yet. I do know that I've been really wanting to do some horror covers lately because I haven't done any in a long time. But yeah, that's pretty much
cool.
where I think I'd go.
So what's your favorite trend in book covers right now? Like, is there a specific, how we have tropes as romance authors and we have our favorites. Is there a specific trend in covers that you say, oh, I kind of like this, the way covers are looking in this specific way?
It's kind of a double-edged sword here. When I first got that question, my first thought of what I hated was the women in the dark alley with the magic in their hands, because I've done a lot of them lately, but I actually really, really like those covers. So it's kind of, but yeah, so I really do like the new urban fantasy designs that have been coming out lately. I just got really tired of doing them back to back for a little bit there.
So is there a trend in book covers that you wish would go up in flames? You never want to see again?
I don't know if it's really a trend, but one of my biggest pet peeves is coming across covers with a plain stock image with writing on it. They don't edit it, they don't crop it uniquely, they don't do anything to it. And that just, I'll even see it from traditionally published covers, and it drives me nuts. Yeah. Yeah,
I agree with you on that one. Okay, so those were my questions, and it looks like Paulina is going to pick up with some questions next.
Okay, so I'm going to read, I think Ish has 3, and then I've been writing down some questions as you talked. So I have some of those too. Ish questions. Ish, wave hi. Okay, there you go. You have to join in this somehow. She asks, how do you choose your stock? Is there like a certain stock site that you go to, or a certain stock you can't work with?
Well, I generally I have a subscription to one stock site. So in my pricing, stock from that site is included in the price. So I always start there, and I will spend hours upon hours digging through stock to find the right images. If I can't find it there, I'll go hit some of the specialty sites. You got like the periodimages.com, Hot Damn Stock, the Read Files. They specifically do stock for book covers. So it's a little more costly, but
I've heard of the Read Files. Yes, they are. But she does some amazing work. I love her work.
She does.
One day I'll be able to, afford it. Her next question is, how do you deal with, well, we talked about this one. Like, do you have any bad experiences that you want to share? I know you don't say names, but anything you want to touch on where you're like, oh my God, I wish you would just go away after, just pay me and go away already.
Well, everybody's got the occasional client that does it. You got to find somebody you can work with. It's different for each person. I've only had one client that we've ever parted ways on, maybe at like a negative aspect there. We both agreed to that we were done, basically. And that was after them telling me I was unprofessional and my Photoshop work was shoddy. And after I'd been working for them for like 3 years. But
wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but I was done. So
don't blame you. Have you ever done a cover that not that you hated, more like you're like, okay, I have to do this cover, but that you weren't comfortable with the subject, if that makes sense? Like some authors or some publishers, they won't do certain books. Like, I know there's BDSM, there's nude, like we were talking one time about like nude photos on the covers. Is there like a line that you refuse to cross when you're doing your covers?
I've pulled my hat out of the erotica genre. It was a decision I made a couple years ago that I don't want to do them anymore. I started out very early on and I did a few, but I realized I didn't really do very many. And there's some legality issues there too. It was a mess, and I decided I'm not doing erotica covers anymore.
Okay, so everybody keeps their clothes on. That's good. Do you think a person, this came up in one of our discussions about copywriting designs. An author decided that another artist had copied her design on her cover. But when we, and she's like, this is my branding. Do you think that's a big deal in the cover artist world?
Yes. Yeah, that is. As a cover artist, I keep the copyright of the design. So I'm not sure on the whole, if the author purchased the copyright, because that's a whole different thing that people get confused on. But the design, the elements on the cover are copyrighted. You can't go up and copy, make the same exact fonts and the same exact layout, and the images look almost exactly the same. That violates copyright.
Sorry, we're talking over in the chat window. Well, Ish, her last question, I didn't see it when it popped up. It kind of dwells on still on, because Ish is our budding cover artist, by the way. She's just getting into it. She's just starting to sell, set up her Facebook page. She would like to know, how often are you forced to do something for an author that you disagree with on a cover? I know that authors have last say. So do you ever put something on there just thinking to yourself, wow, I wish my name wasn't behind this?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that happens. It's customer service, client ends up being right at the end. I can give them my opinion. I can suggest going a different direction, but in the end, they're the one paying me. So
you're also the ones putting it on Amazon so people can look at it. You're like, oh, God, thanks.
Those don't usually go in the portfolio. Though I did just redo my website, so not everything is in there anymore. So I hope nobody takes offense to that the image is not there. Has nothing to do with it.
You gotta do what's best for your business in the end, right?
Right.
I know before we started, you had some books. You want to show us some of your designs?
Oh yeah, I got a couple of them here. It's Skye Malone's Rebirth, the last one that she has had out.
Is that urban fantasy?
Yeah, young adult.
Okay.
So it's about mermaids.
Ooh, mermaids.
That's about all I know about it, unfortunately. I don't get to read all the books, unfortunately. I just don't have the time to be able to do it. There's a sci-fi one, Echelon.
I like that cover.
It's kind of got a glare on it, but
it's beautiful. It's very simple.
Simple is always better. Then Robert Crane.
Ooh.
It's
Is that the end of the world?
well, the series started out young adult and it's kind of gone a little bit away from young adult, but not really. Because it's a second series, if that makes sense. I have
The
quite
branch
a few.
off?
Yeah, I got quite a few of those that do that. They'll have one series and they'll complete it, and then they'll do a second series, but it's the same main characters and stuff.
You got to keep something going that's already working. Do
That's
any
right.
other girls have a question?
Do you design things other than just the book covers? Do you do other swag?
Oh yeah, bookmarks, magnets, the big banners for the shows. I do a lot of those, even for what clients that I didn't do the covers for. I have a lot of them coming to me for that. I think the Utopia Con, I think half of them there I've done. But yeah, I've done web design, not so much like the layout, but the graphics for it. And then obviously all of the social media, the graphics for that, ads, Facebook ads, Twitter ads. Yeah, if there's a sizing and specifications, I can create the image for it.
How do you choose your pricing when it comes to covers? I know that's something else that I kind of seen last week where cover artists were kind of posting cheap isn't always better, which is true. How do you decide how much you're going to charge as compared to others?
Believe it or not, it's actually a very difficult thing to do. You have to put a price tag on your value. I started out pretty cheap. I was like doing $50 covers. That didn't last long. And then there's a lot in supply and demand. So if I'm really busy, my prices have, usually go up. I was booked over a year out for almost 2 years. And so I finally got to a point where I've just got to raise my prices to a point where I can start getting this more manageable.
I'm all trying to talk with my mute on.
Unmute yourself.
Well, that makes sense because you have to pay for your for your work. But that being said, do you have them pay half up front, half later? And you've had to have this before where an author kind of sees your end results and says, I don't want it. At that point, how do you handle that kind of situation?
I actually have not had that happen yet. So I know I've had other groups of friends, cover artists that they've had the client that either doesn't pay their invoice, but I have not come across it. I've had a few that took a little while, but what was the beginning of that question again? I'm sorry. You muted again.
Oh, sorry. Ish is asking, anyone expect free stuff?
Oh,
have you ever had those emails? Hey, I have a disability, so please help me.
Oh yeah, all the time. Or I'll help you get exposure, and I'm like, I've got a lot of exposure. Thank you.
Can't feed my kids with exposure. Thanks.
Right.
Well, you can, but it's not going to be with the money you really want.
And that's one thing that a lot of people don't seem to realize. This is my 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. This is what keeps the lights on, feeds the kids. This is my job. I get a lot of people who get mad. Well, how come you didn't respond to me during the weekend or in the evening? I'm like, I need a break sometime.
Okay, that being said, when did you? I know that you're new. That you said you've been doing this for how many years now?
5.
5 years. Have you been full time full time the whole time?
Yep.
Nice. To be full time would be beautiful. Yeah, we're all trying to get there. Hopefully one day. What do you find is the most difficult being full time and having a job at home?
I also homeschool my kids, so that.
How old are your kids?
They're older. I got 14 and 12, and then 18. But she's not in school anymore, so. But yeah,
so that's not bad. You can sit them in a corner and tell them to do their work, and they'll pretty much sit there and work.
For the most part, yeah. Getting overwhelmed at times. You always get hit with everything at once. So I'll have my X amount of covers scheduled during the week, but then I've always got authors coming back. They need their print books resized, or they need ads, or this and that. So there'll be times where I'll get a whole bunch of people in at once, and I just feel totally overwhelmed.
And
Sorry. Do you plan a little extra time throughout the week for those emergency pop-up requests? I know you said you schedule for your covers, but do you set aside X amount of hours in case something does come up?
I do, yeah. I don't schedule on Mondays because I'm usually catching up from the week before. So yeah, I do leave some space. When I schedule out, new clients will get the new, a little bit further out, and then I'll leave a little bit of room in my schedule for recurring clients because I have a lot of them that come back quite often. And they might need something fixed right away. So I do leave room in my schedule for that.
Paulina? That was my follow-up.
It's funny though, I keep trying to do it and I'm just like, keep muting myself. It's crazy. But does anyone else have anything else? I think my follow-ups are pretty much finished. Really, Amy, nothing? Now Amy doesn't want to talk?
No. We all know how Amy shouldn't talk because you know how I am about book covers specifically. So like I'm a total cover snob. And I have very specific wants and needs and desires as an author, which are separate from the way I feel about covers as a reader. So I could go on all day about book covers.
That's true, you can't. Okay, no going on all day.
Yeah, Amy should just zip it.
But you know what? From what I've seen of the covers, I like them. The urban fantasy covers, like you were talking about, they came out with the girls and the fire or whatever elements in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing an urban fantasy series. I want to step away from that because it's oversaturated. But one thing I haven't seen a lot of is different ethnic groups shown on covers. Do you have trouble finding those?
Oh yeah.
Those kind of models?
Yeah, it's very difficult. We had mentioned like the read files earlier, and that's one thing that is a go-to when you need to find, especially if you're in a specific genre like the urban fantasy or whatever. Tara does a lot of diversity work. Her models, she's got a great selection of models, but when you go to the generic stock sites, yeah, it can be really difficult to find the right models.
Because that's what I write. All my books are basically either African based or my witches series. They're mixed race, but it's black, and that is one of the. I don't have models on my cover because you can't find them.
I've got one client too. She hires her own models and does a photo shoot, and then sends me the pictures.
When I'm famous, maybe I'll be able to get my own models. I can go on the street and ask people, "Hey, you want a model?"
Yeah, I have a massive obsession at the moment with digital art, and so I've been amassing Pinterest boards full of digital art and DeviantArt. I can't go there because I will just spend all day looking at stuff. But someday, I would love to have, commissioned digital art on my covers, which to me could be even more special than having a photo shoot,
right,
with real life models.
Do you do digital art on your covers, or you haven't got to that part yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, what's your definition of digital art? Because most of my work,
well, not digital art, more like manipulating. There we go.
That's
manipulating photos.
That's all I do.
To look like paintings.
Well, some of them look like paintings, but yeah, I've got a before and after section on my website. I haven't updated it in a while, but yeah, I take several different photos to create a new image. I think on average I do 5 or 6 photos per cover.
Nice.
A lot of hair painting.
Oh no, I don't need a cover.
Have you tackled because this once again is kind of a genre where it's hard to find images, but like science fiction romance, there's kind of a standard look for those kind of covers, and artists are trying to get away from that, or authors are trying to get away from those sometimes. Have you tackled any science fiction romance for your covers?
Not really. Early on, I think I did a couple. Well, actually, no. There is a couple series I have. They might be in my portfolio right now. They were your standard,
guy, girl, spaceship.
Yeah, pretty much. Like shirtless guy with the planets behind him. I don't think those books have come out yet. They were commissioned.
Which isn't bad. I mean, I love those covers. I am always looking for art, cover artists and people who have a unique way to say science fiction romance without the standard guy girl planets. You know what I mean? So I'm always on the prowl.
Right.
You gotta have abs.
You're breaking up.
You gotta have abs.
Yes, Elle likes the abs.
Abs are
Abs are
overrated.
Abs aren't bad, but they are a little bit overdone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have girl abs on my next book. How's that?
Do it.
You know, there's a
Good.
cover out there that's got a picture of a guy with abs, but then he's got abs on his face and abs on his arms, and it's like this. I think it was a joke about the abs being on covers all over the place.
Was it a Chuck Tingle?
I'm not sure what it was.
Do you know who Chuck Tingle is?
No, I don't.
Is
Oh
that
my
the one that
goodness.
does the dinosaur porn?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Then I believe it was him.
Or the
Office.
pounded
Office romance.
in the butt by my Hugo Award nomination. That guy.
Very well.
Pounded in the butt by my holiday Starbucks cup or something.
He's making money on his satires. Let him have fun.
Oh my goodness. I think they're shorter, like 2,000, 3,000 word stories, and they sell for $2.99. Yeah, I would say so.
And people wait for his next installment too. I'm not reading dinosaur porn. That's just weird. Weird.
Well, everybody's got their own taste. It's just not mine.
Honestly, I think it's just a tongue in cheek. His whole whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he is.
they would.
And he just happens to be making an obscene amount of money doing it, which good for him.
Sorry.
Yay, doggy!
Fine. My children have not made an appearance, so somebody's got to
Right.
barge in.
So you think somebody's
Okay,
at the
I'm
door?
done
but
with my
there's not.
questions, Al.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else that was on topic anyway. So thank you for joining us. If you like the podcast, please like, comment, and share. This has been episode number 23, and we will see you later. Good night.
Bye.